car, so I'll replace this one as well. You see, oh yeah. Ooh, we found another one. Let me pull this off real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. What's good, grind schoolers? It's your boy Robin. We back in the shop today. So today what we got going down is we are going to do some work on the Impala. We're going to clean the mass airflow sensor and try to see if we could possibly check for vacuum leaks. So when I start the car up, and I'll show you guys in a second, the car starts up fine, and then it sounds like it idles down real low. Now the tachometer has it, you know what I'm saying, around like 1,000 RPMs or something like that. But I also am a little bit concerned about like the performance issues. I've had an LT1 before and it's never been like a dog like this. You know what I'm saying? Like the car gets up and goes, but it doesn't go like it should. So that's one thing. Also, I'm trying to get the car road ready. I'm trying to get the car to emissions. So in order to do that, I need to make sure it's 100%. So the car theoretically should pass emissions because it's completely bone stock. There's nothing done to it. There's no modifications done to it. And the last known time that the car was on the road, I think was about 2018, I think, before the guy, whoever had it, wrecked it or whatever, and you know, it just sat at auction. So anyways, I think that was the last known registration because I have a whole Carfax history report and all that kind of stuff. But I think that was the last known registration, and that wasn't that long ago. And like I said, there's been nothing done to the car besides the tune-up stuff that I've done. However, I looked at the emissions paperwork last time that it went to emissions, and the CO2 and the other levels were completely like out of whack, like a lot by a lot. And so since then, I've changed the OptiSpark. The car wasn't running good at all. If you guys remember, before I painted the car, when I was painting the Elko, I was going to try to get the Impala done first. And the reason why I didn't do the Impala first was because the car was running so bad. And it got to a point where the car barely would even start. So now that that problem is over, it's non-existent, I want to make sure that I get everything together so that I can get the car to emissions so I can get on the road. Quick update, I have decided to just go ahead and do the ball joints instead of doing the tubulars because it doesn't make sense to have the car just sit here and get to this point and not drive it. I'll just do double the work, I guess. It is what it is, but you know, that's just how it goes. I also didn't end up going to the car show because I didn't really feel like going through the hassle of trailering the car. Plus that day, I don't know what was going on. I think I was just tired, just didn't really feel like doing a whole lot. And I just decided to not go anyways. And then also another quick update, man. I told you guys at the beginning of the month that the square body would be coming home. And I think it's about time that the square body comes home. So expect to be seeing that. Y'all probably see that maybe within the next, you know, few videos of the square body coming home. And the reason why I've decided to bring that home now is because I want to get it to where I could drive it, move it. Not drive it because it's not going to be driving on the road or nothing like that anytime soon. However, I want to get it to where it's movable, where it starts and it runs. Right now it doesn't run, but I want to get it to that point before it gets cold so that, you know, if I need to move it, you know, to the street or in the garage, whatever I got to do, then I can move it. Also, the Elko is done. It's down for the season. It's down for the count. I'm not driving it no more. So I'm probably going to go ahead and put it up on jack stands so that I can start working on what I got to do for that. So let me spin this camera around. We'll talk about the Elko for a second. And the reason why I've decided to completely take it off the road for the summer and not even worry about it at all. And then we'll go ahead and get into the Impala. But before we do that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you get a notification every single time we drop another video. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, y'all. So with the Elko situation, I've decided to completely not drive the car. I'll probably start it up from time to time. However, the car won't see the road anymore this summer, anymore this year. The reason being is because there's a lot that needs to happen with the car that I really just don't want to invest the time and effort and energy into it right now. Like I said, I have the Impala, and the Impala is good to go. I've been kind of driving it a little bit, even though the ball joints are jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just up the street, you know what I'm saying? Just up the street, not too far. But I don't want to push my luck. So we got to get that done. But with the Elko, and I said this in my last video, but just to recap, I need new brakes, new brake pads, and new wheel hubs. I still have not figured out what's going down with the rear end, and it's leaking profusely. I cleaned this whole garage out, as you guys can see. Painted my roof, everything like that. And when I did that, I organized everything. So I took everything off the shelves. I put everything that I needed back into the boxes. I kind of faced my shelf. If you guys have ever worked in retail, you guys know what that means. It means kind of bringing everything to the front so that it looks good. So when you go into like the grocery store or like, you know what I'm saying, the auto parts store, the shelf has all the products moved to the front, which means, you know, facing the shelf, I guess. And then I put everything over here at the table, used to be right here. I put it over there, and I kind of organized everything, organized all my tools and everything like that, and got everything from over there in that, on that side where the Elko sits at. So pretty much I really went through everything, and I cleaned the floors. So there was nothing on the floor. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but if you can see the greasy light spots, that's all fluid. So transmission fluid. And then there's a leak up there in the front, which I don't know what that is, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's transmission fluid, but I could be wrong. Like, I haven't moved this car since my daughter's birthday, which was at the beginning of August. So I don't really know what that is. I'm pretty sure it's probably like oil or something like that. And so, like I said, I don't want to invest the time, the effort, the energy to, you know, work on this when I could just fix a couple things on here and just drive this. And also too, like, this car is coming apart anyway. Like I said in my last video, time to break it down. So I might as well get a start, lift the car up, and put it on jack stands, scrub the bottom, and then get it ready to get undercoated. Hopefully I can get to that before it gets cold, because that's the only thing that would kind of like hold me up from doing anything is the cold. As far as the undercoating goes, everything else I could work on, you know, it's not a big deal. So the Elko, unfortunately, will not be seeing any more action. Unfortunately, we're going back into work mode on here. But on the Impala, however, you know what I'm saying, we could get things done on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of try to inspect this mass airflow sensor, see what I see before I pull it off. And yeah, we'll go from there. Oh, I'll start the car up. It's early in the morning, but you know, this car is not too loud. It's not like, you know, the Elko where, you know, it's obnoxious. But I'll start this car up and you guys can kind of hear what I'm talking about. And then we'll just go from there. if I put it in gear, it sounds like it wants to die a little bit, you know what I mean? See what I'm saying? So, I don't know if that's normal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really too familiar, not too familiar as to what needs to happen with these LT1s, you know what I'm saying? Like, that might be normal. However, you know what I'm saying, just to be sure, and just to give myself, I guess, a fighting chance when I go to the emissions place, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean the mass airflow sensor and do what I gotta do with that. I don't really think that there should be an issue with, like I said, this car passing emissions, but I definitely know I have to get my exhaust leak fixed because that's a no-go, so that's why it needs to go to the exhaust shop. I'm definitely going to change the exhaust up. So right now it has the Spin Tech 6000s on it, and I'm gonna change that up. So the Spin Techs don't sound the greatest on here. It sounds like the car is kind of like straight pipe, and you know, LT1s are really, if you don't get the exhaust right, you don't have headers or nothing like that, they're real hideous sounding. And that was a big motivation for me wanting to go LS. However, you know, like, I'm back and forth, y'all. I'm back and forth. I say one thing and you know what I'm saying, I ponder on it and I do another thing sometimes, you know what I'm saying, especially with these cars, and just trying to get things right. But with this car, it doesn't make sense to start tearing into things, start messing with wiring and all that kind of stuff when the motor is good. Like, everything is solid here. Once this breaks, maybe I'll do, you know what I'm saying, the LS and all that kind of stuff. But besides all that, you know what I'm saying, like, if I would have went LS, I would have kept the Spin Techs on here. But since I'm not necessarily going LS right now, I just want to enjoy the car for now. I'm going to switch the exhaust up, and I'm probably going to go with Flowmaster 40s. And the reason why I want to go with Flowmaster 40s is because they have more of a refined sound, and I think they sound good on these cars without having headers. And I kind of want to do the header thing, but I don't know if I want to mess with going down up in there and stuff like that. So anyways, like I said, that would be the plan with the exhaust and switching up the exhaust when I get it to the exhaust shop, because it does have an exhaust leak, and I don't know if that's the reason why it's running like it's running. And I wouldn't feel like that would be the case because the exhaust leak is way back in the line. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's at the exhaust manifold or anything like that. It's way back in the line. Where homie tried to do my exhaust. So anyways, like I said, man, we're gonna pull this stuff off. And first of all, I'll probably start the car back up, spray some brake clean where all the vacuum areas are, see if we get any difference in running. I'm gonna do that first before I order this that smoke machine where you could, you know, send smoke through the tailpipe and it will like seep through all the vacuum ports. I'm gonna do that first, and then see if anything happens. And then my next order of business will be to take the mass airflow sensor off, or not the mass airflow sensor, the throttle body off, clean it, and then see what happens after that. So let me go ahead and just do what I gotta do, and I'll cut y'all on once I start spraying the brake clean, I guess. Turn the car on, spray the brake clean, see if the any changes in idle or anything like that, and then we'll just proceed to go down the line. And if it does anything, it does, great. If it doesn't, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So the goal is just to get this thing, you know what I'm saying, good to go. But like I said, man, like, if you look down in here, there's nothing cut up. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying, like all messed up. It looks like it came 100% stock. I mean, obviously this stuff is faded. My coolant tank and my windshield washer, they've yellowed, obviously, over the years. But other than that, man, like, you know, if I just make this black, all this stuff nice, shiny black, not shiny black, but, you know, like stock black plastic, not ashy looking, and then I get new coolant and windshield washer reservoirs, you know what I mean? Like, this could look immaculate under here. But anyways, man, let me stop talking, man. Let me go ahead, take home plate off, and let me start trying to dig into stuff and see what occurs. All right, y'all. I didn't really hear any changes in idle. I was trying to spray, obviously, where all the vacuum ports are. There's obviously a couple that go into the throttle body over there. There is one that goes into the back where the EGR valve is. It's hard to see it, but it's back in the back. And then I think there's a couple that go into the intake manifold over here. Also, I know there's a leak point where the throttle body is. So I was trying to spray it there. Didn't really hear any changes in the idle. You know, maybe that's not the most effective way to do it. But I'll manually inspect like the hoses, at least the ones that I can really see, and see if there's any issues there. And if not, then, you know, we'll just keep moving down the line, I guess. I'll probably still order that smoke machine, just to have it. It's like $100, I think. I'll probably still order it, just like I said, just to have it. And if I wanted to go in and actually, you know, smoke test it or whatever, then I can. But for now, we're just gonna see if I can clean the throttle body out. And then I think I got some throttle body cleaner. If not, it doesn't matter. We'll use carb clean or brake clean or whatever. And yeah, go from there. And I also didn't want to heat the motor up too much because obviously I'm spraying brake clean into the running motor. I don't want to get it on the exhaust manifolds and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it's highly flammable, so I'm sure it'd be all right, but you know, for what it is, I ain't trying to do all that. But let me go ahead and get home plate off, and then we'll go ahead and start, I guess, messing with this throttle body. Is 4 screws, a couple hoses. We'll clean all the carbon out, and then yeah, go from there. All right, y'all. I don't know why the light looks like it's flashing on camera, but the light's not flashing in real life, I guess. But I think I found maybe a potential problem that I guess it would be, I don't know, like a PCV valve or something like that, that goes into the side of the intake manifold. And maybe you guys that got that know this stuff, somebody could let me know what that is. Obviously on the 350, I know the PCV valve or whatever goes into the what's this called, valve cover. There's one on that side, but I haven't seen anything like this before that goes into the side of the intake manifold. So like, I'm not really too sure, you know what I'm saying, on all of that. However, I was looking under here, and what led me to this is because I looked at the throttle body, and I'm not gonna take it off and do all that. Not gonna go through the hassle of that, because I looked in here and let me see if I can get this light over here. All right, that might be a little bit better. I looked in here and it doesn't look like a whole lot of carbon buildup in there. So I decided like, yo, like I'm not gonna take it off. But what I did see is that little metal pipe that goes into, it's kind of hard because I'm kind of holding this light, but that goes into this rubber hose, looks like it's pulled out a little bit. I don't know if that's enough to cause a vacuum leak, but I started to trace that wire or that hose back, which it goes into the side of the intake manifold. And what I noticed was there is there is a little bit of oil on that like canister thing, and on that little rubber hose that's connecting the two. There's a little bit of oil on it. So I was like, you know what? How would that oil get there? If you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think those canisters are designed to, like, I guess trap oil or something. I don't know. Like I said, not a mechanic, so you mechanics can probably tell me what it does exactly. But there's oil on it, and the only way to get oil there is if it's leaking from that hose right there, or that hole right there, because obviously there's nothing on top of it that would leak. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that hose off. I'm gonna inspect it. I might even replace it depending on how this goes. And I'm going to put it back on and put it back in there, and hopefully that does the trick. Now, I'm not saying the car runs terribly or nothing like that, but that could be just enough of an issue to kind of throw things off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it doesn't look like there was like a hole, but that could be just enough to have like a small tiny vacuum leak. So we're gonna take that hose off, we're gonna inspect it, we're gonna look at it, and we're going to see if that could potentially be the culprit of why the car would be running the way it's running. It's not running like I said, super rough, but it's just something I feel like is not right. So let me go ahead and take that off. I'll inspect it. I might even replace it, and then yeah, we'll keep rocking. All right, y'all, that may indeed be the issue. So as you can see, there's oil all on the top of this. And the only way it would get oil on the top of this if it was leaking through this hose here, or from that port. Because like I said, there's nothing on top of there that would cause an oil leak. You know what I'm saying? And this is not like something where the oil is just like going straight through here and it's dripping like as if you got a valve cover leak or an oil pan leak or something like that. Like I said, these little canisters, I think, are to capture like oil vapor or something. I don't know, man. Like I said, whatever. But this hose is hard as a rock. And you can see it's starting to split right here. You know what I mean? So clearly the hose is like definitely needs to be replaced. This canister, I don't know if it needs to be replaced, but we're going to replace it anyway. PCV valve, we're going to replace that joint. And then I kind of was trying to feel around at the other hoses. Yeah, that one need to be replaced. Like they're really hard, you know what I'm saying? So maybe I'll replace this one and I'll replace this PCV too. Yeah, because these are like brittle and hard. So we'll replace both of these. Well, I guess this one doesn't need to be replaced. This is just like a plastic piece. I don't know, but we'll replace probably the hose. Maybe not. I don't know, man. I'm kind of talking this through as I'm going through it with y'all. This one looks like it has tape on it. So maybe I will replace the hose because it looks like it does have tape on it. Like somebody went in here and just tried to cover it up. And I'm sorry it's dark. I turned off the light, but maybe we'll replace that hose and then we'll replace, I pulled off this one. So let me see. I don't want to break anything. There's another hose down here that feels kind of hard. So I'll replace this one as well. See, oh yeah. Ooh, we found another one. Let me pull this off real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. So this hose is completely split. So we clearly have a vacuum leak, a vacuum issue. I'm glad that it's this and not me having to take off the whole throttle body and clean it and all that kind of stuff. So the car is running, indeed running, not like it should. So at this point, I think I might have to replace this whole little black hose. I don't even know what this would be, and I broke it. So I wasn't trying to, but it looks like we're gonna have to replace it. So now that I have discovered a couple issues, areas that need to be addressed, and like I said, it looks like somebody just taped that hose. So I'm going to replace, obviously, this hose, that hose, the PCV that I just took off, and the hose that goes to it, or the little rubber piece, the rubber piece that goes into the, I guess that would be underneath there, the intake manifold. I think it's going into the intake manifold. I don't know if it's going in there or the bottom of the throttle body. I can't really tell. But yeah, looks like we are replacing hoses, you guys. I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm gonna, obviously start with the ones that I've already identified. And then I'll go from there and see what happened. See if the car starts running a little better. See if we have any luck with, where we're at currently. And then, we'll keep pushing on. But for now, we found some areas of weakness. And yeah, like I said, man, like, you gotta really listen to your car, man. You gotta really listen to it. And from the jump, I knew that it wasn't right. The exhaust definitely helps, don't get me wrong. Like, if it didn't have exhaust, it'd be kind of harder to tell. But I always thought it was the computer, because the computer has been replaced. And I don't remember, if you guys go way back in my videos when I was doing the power steering, I think it was in my power steering video. This was like years ago before, this was like years ago before the car got dropped off to the paint shop. I had said that the car was running kind of really rough. And this was like before the Chevy video, where, like, I took it to, or no, this was after. I don't know if it was before or after. I took it to Chevy to get the computer replaced. And the computer, Chevy did their tune or whatever they did with the computer. And what happened was, when it came back from Chevy, I'm like, yo, it's idling really, really high. Sounds like it's idling really high. And since then, it's kind of idled down. And maybe it was idling really high because I needed to replace the Opti. But since I've replaced the Opti and all that kind of stuff, it's been running better. Excuse me. But it's still not running like it should. So anyways, man, let me go ahead and start, replacing these hoses. And then, since I've already identified the areas that need to be fixed, I don't know if I have any more. I'll keep investigating and see what I can see. And then once I fix these things, then we'll go from there, and then I'll turn the car back on. But I'm not gonna keep on, trying to look while I got y'all on camera. I'm about to turn on the light, see if I can find any more hoses that need to be addressed, and then I'm gonna run to the auto parts store, get the what do I want to call it? Get the parts that I need, and then I'll come back, throw them on, and see what happens. I know the car definitely should change characteristics a little bit, because I've identified a couple areas that seem like it needs to be addressed. So this should hopefully fix my problem. Then we can get this thing to emissions. I'm gonna also replace the O2 sensors and do that kind of stuff. Like I said, give myself a fighting chance when I take it to emissions, because I want to pass with flying colors. Because it used to be where, if you failed, you didn't have to pay. But now, since COVID and all that kind of stuff, if you fail, you're still paying $25 every single time. So it's like, I ain't trying to do all that. So anyways, let me go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, do what I got to do here and wrap this up. All right, y'all. So I wasn't going to cut y'all back on until I get everything situated, but I decided to show y'all this. As I suspected, somebody taped this up, so there must have been an issue. You can see the whole hose is split. Let me try to see if I can get it in the light so y'all can see. It's real hard to see, but you can see the slit. It's kind of slit all the way back up in there. So yeah, that ain't how you do it. I mean, seeing how easy this hose is to replace, and this hose is probably like $1, you know what I'm saying, 50 cents or whatever. You know, like, why not just replace it instead of throwing tape on it, man? Like, come on. So I indeed have an issue, man. Like, with all these weak points, I already know there's a vacuum leak. Like, I don't even have to, you know, order the smoke thing and whatever. I know there's a vacuum leak. And so now I'm just gonna go through these hoses and replace them. I think that EGR joint is good because when I was doing the Dakota Digital, I had to go up in there and I was in there trying to like hook up, what is it? I don't know which part it is that you have to hook up back there, but I had to go back in there and hook something up back there. And I don't really remember which one it is, but I was back in there messing with that. And so I think that hose back there is good. But as far as everything else on the side, I'm just gonna try to replace as much as I can, and hopefully that improves it substantially to where we're good to go. So yeah, man, right now, we'll just continue to keep looking for weak points, and then, yeah, keep going from there, man. All right, y'all, so I got everything I need. I got the little hoses. They didn't have, like, the actual, like, length of hose, but I don't need that much. I just need to connect this little black piece back. Got the PCV, got the little elbow, got, what is this? 1/2-inch hose, 3/8 hose. This hose here, man, is original GM. Both of the hoses, this little one that go to the PCV and this one, it say 1/2-inch GM. So this has been on the car since the car's been in existence, I'm sure. This one here also says the same thing. It says GM 3/8. I don't know if you guys can see or if it's even focusing, but you know what I'm saying? If not, just take my word for it. But anyway, man, we about to throw this back together. I'll start the car back up and we'll see what happens. But y'all, we got everything back together. So, moment of truth. Let's see how it goes, man. Let's go ahead and start it up. See what she sounds like. Hopefully we have some improvement. Let's see where we at. Seems like it's running a little stronger. The RPMs are up a little bit more. It sounds like it's smooth. It's a little smoother too. Let me see what it sounds like. Still seems like the RPMs dropped a little bit. I don't know if you could tell if the gauge is higher or not. I'll have to look at the video, but I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and drive it and see if we got it a little bit better. It's about 800 RPM and it's sitting there steady. It's not really bouncing or nothing. So let me go ahead and drive the car and see what it sounds like, and then we'll go ahead and conclude this. Yeah, the RPM's up a little higher, but yeah, let me drive it around the block real quick and see what happens. Yeah, we still have an issue because when I turn the wheel, you can see the RPMs drop. It's like it wants to die or something, you know what I'm saying? So I got the AC on too, just to see, you know what I'm saying, put a little more strain on the motor, just so that I could, you know what I'm saying, kind of see what's going down. And I just wanted to kind of see, like, if that's like normal or if it's supposed to be like that or not supposed to be like that. I put it in the park, boom, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know, man. I don't really know what this is supposed to idle at, so can't really tell you, but Let me go ahead and step out. I'll open up the hood real quick. Then we'll be done concluding this video. But yeah, man, it's idled down. It sounds good. I know, like I said, we still got exhaust leaks and whatnot, but like I said, it's idled down. It sounds good in here. You know what I'm saying? It sounds normal. Doesn't sound like it's like tripping or nothing, but when I turn the wheel, it like RPMs kind of drop. So obviously it's a little bit more strain on like the motor and whatnot, but you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So, and I don't know if like this exhaust or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, this exhaust be like popping. So I don't know if it's because of the spin text or whatnot, but you know what I'm saying? It's not like backfiring unless I get on it and then I stop. I think the spin techs are making it backfire, or not backfire, but it's popping, it's crackling a little bit. So, but anyways, man, we about to take it home. It sounds quiet. It sounds really good. It's not like idling real high like it was. So hopefully that kind of like fixed my issue, man. Whatever was going on up in here. But yeah, like I said, it sounds quiet. We still got an exhaust leak that we gotta fix, so we'll get that fixed, and then, you know, we'll like I said, it sounds good, man. It sounds really good, but you know, just that concern when I turn the wheel, the RPMs just drop. You know what I mean? So, man, she look good. I can't wait to get my new wheels. Just clean her all the way up, man. Get my ball joints good so I can drive her, man. Yeah, y'all. And like I said, once I get the different exhaust, it'll sound a little different, but you can hear that hissing. You know what I'm saying? We definitely still got an exhaust leak because the homie can't, you know, do the exhaust right. I don't know why he did my shit so dirty, but it is what it is, because they work on, you know what I'm saying, supercars and whatnot, but it is what it is. They don't have no appreciation. He probably thought it was a bucket, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, let me go ahead and spin back to the crib and we'll chop it there. All right, y'all, back at the crib. Like I said, it's very quiet in here. You know, it doesn't seem like it's doing what it was doing, where it's idling real high. It's just real loud. I don't know if it's because the car's warmed up, but it definitely sounds like it's more tame. I don't know, like, you know, why the RPMs drop so much when I turn the wheel. Obviously, it's more strain on the motor. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, with the power steering pump working and all that. But maybe I'll check my power steering fluid. I think it should be good, but I'll check my power steering fluid. Next thing I gotta do is check my cooler lines or replace them, because, you know what I'm saying, again, we got a little bit of a spill here. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the car in, and then, you know, we'll go ahead and get these ball joints done so we can finally drive the car. But yeah, you can hear, man, that hissing sound, that's an exhaust leak. So once we fix that, we can get this thing to emissions, be good to go, man. So let me go ahead and pull the car in, and, you know, like I said, she's purring, man, but it just, you know, these little things, man, trying to get them knocked out, but we're gonna get there. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. Yeah, like I said, I think that those fixing those vacuum hoses did the trick. The car sounds really, really good. Like I said, the only concern I have is when I turn the steering wheel, the RPMs drop. Like, I don't know if that's normal or that's how that's supposed to go, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how that's supposed to go. So, because obviously there's additional strain on the, like, motor when you turn the wheel with the power steering pump, or with the power steering and all that kind of stuff when you turn the wheel. So maybe I'll check one of these other cars and see if the RPMs drop. Probably this one behind me. See if the RPMs drop when I turn the wheel. And you know, just chalk it up. I mean, the car don't die, so the car doesn't smell too bad. Like when I first took it to emissions, it was smelling terrible. You know what I'm saying? The car was idling super high. The car idles just fine. It seems like it's idling perfect. Like I said, I'll change my O2 sensors, get the exhaust done so I can fix that exhaust leak, because I'm sure that's a little bit more of a problem, but I don't see why it would cause the engine to run rough if there's an exhaust leak behind the catalytic converters and whatever, not at the exhaust manifolds. So, and I might even check the exhaust manifolds just to be sure, because I have tightened them before, because we did have an issue before with them. But other than that, man, I mean, I think she's pretty solid and ready to go. Once I get the ball joints done, get the ball joints, the alignment, the exhaust, like we've been saying before, she should be ready to just ride, man. So, I guess, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna go ahead and conclude, you know what I'm saying, this video, man. Like I always say, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you get notification every single time you drop another video. If you like the videos, man, go ahead and share and subscribe, man. It definitely helps me out, helps me get into the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely appreciate it, especially if you've been rocking with me, but you haven't hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and do that for me, please. I definitely appreciate it. So we almost there, man. And I do have plans to get rid of these wheels. Not get rid of them, because they'll go on the square body. But if I decide to use these, if not, whatever, I'll get rid of them. But I got some wheels in mind that I want to go ahead and capitalize on and go ahead and put on the car. So, you know, that'll be once it's all the way together, of course. And it probably won't be obviously until after the winter time, because I'm not going to drive the car on the wheels in the winter. So that makes sense. But anyways, man, we're going to keep on rocking, man. We're going to keep on working on these cars, keep on getting them together, and just is what it is. But anyways, man, always remember, work hard so you can live free.